Welcome back to Inside City Hall, where we are looking ahead to the primary elections in June. The open seat race to replace retiring Representative Nydia Velázquez is taking shape. New York's 7th congressional district stretches from Queens to Brooklyn. It covers all or part of Long Island City and Bushwick. Last month, I spoke with Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso to explain why he is running for that seat, and another candidate threw her hat into the ring just today.
The housing crisis, the healthcare crisis, the crisis of workers' rights. It isn't a personal failure by any individual. It's the success of a system designed to extract from working people while protecting the wealth and power of the billionaire class. That's
Assemblymember Claire Valdez. She's one of Mayor Mamdani's earliest supporters and the only elected official present in Mayor Mamdani's campaign launch event way back in October of 2024. Welcome to the program. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Why run for this office? You are relatively new to the Assembly.
It is true, but I'm running for this office for the same reason I ran for this New York State Assembly last year, because my union changed my life. I'm a former member of UAW Local 2110, and at a moment when union popularity in the United States is at an all-time high, we need a federal government that will support it, will support workers' rights to organize, that will go after corporate and concentrated power and fight for real social democracy in the United States. And that's exactly why I'm running for Congress.
Okay, and as a member of Congress, how would you advance those goals?
So there's obviously legislative solutions to some of these things. The PRO Act is beyond needed. We can support union drives more directly, standing arm in arm with workers who are striving to organize their workplaces, a federal jobs guarantee, delivering on a Green New Deal to create new infrastructure. Those are many thousands of union jobs. Building a thriving labor movement is really going to be the key to defending our democracy and making it even stronger.
Explain what you mean by a jobs guarantee from the federal government.
Yeah, so I mean, we can look at the New Deal era where infrastructure was being built all over this country, and workers had many more options for the work that they could be doing. There's plenty of work in the United States that needs to be done. And right now, it's not being done by the workers who need to be doing it. And so I think we can look at developing that as a platform and for the United States.
As an active member of the Democratic Socialists of America, and I saw you say that in your ad. You're with it. It's not something you're running away from or stepping away from. When Mayor Mamdani ran, he said, "Look, if it's not on my website, all of the whole national agenda of the DSA is not part of what I'm doing." You're in a slightly different position because you're running for an office that will have a lot of national and even international impact, potentially. Which parts of the DSA program should we be thinking about when we think about you as a candidate?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a member of New York City Democratic Socialists of America since 2019. I've been a leader in the chapter. I've helped run many different campaigns as part of the organization. I'm a proud democratic socialist. And for me, that means expanding democracy far beyond the voting booth into our apartment buildings, into our workplaces. And when we think about what that program should look like, it should be a program for working class people, about building real affordability in a city that is profoundly unaffordable for most workers. Guaranteeing housing and healthcare as a human right, making unions available to anyone, every single worker, and again, building democracy all over the United States, and advancing peace abroad too, ending forever wars, ending the ongoing genocide in Gaza, and fighting for self-determination in colonies like Puerto Rico.
Okay, the race could attract some more candidates, but as I mentioned, we've got the Brooklyn Borough President, Antonio Reynoso. He's also running. He's also vying for an endorsement from the DSA. I don't know if that's going to happen, and we'll find out about that. What specifically do you think separates you from him?
I think this is going to be hashed out in the next weeks and months. I'll say that I come into this race with experience as a labor organizer again, and I'm very proud that my own union, UAW Region 9A, has endorsed in this race. It's my first endorsement, the one I'm most proud of. So coming in with the experience of a labor organizer who knows those struggles very well, someone who has a very consistent record with and has moral clarity about foreign affairs, and someone who really comes from this movement that just helped elect our mayor, Zohran Mamdani.
Okay. If elected, what committees would you want to serve on and why?
It's something I'm still thinking about. Like I said, worker power is incredibly important to me. So places where we can advance things like the PRO Act, jobs guarantee, organizing with workers, standing shoulder to shoulder with people who are organizing their workplaces. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Tell me about some non-labor issues in the district that you would want to focus on, whether it involves housing, transportation, schools in the district, or anything else.
Yeah, housing is, I think, going to be one of the most important parts of this campaign. The district is about 77% renters, and they deserve stability and dignity in their housing. And so fighting for the Housing Act that is championed by Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, fighting to fully fund NYCHA and build more public housing to and support tenants so that they have stable, secure housing long-term that's permanently affordable. I think we also have to talk about, this district is kind of cut through by the Newtown Creek, which has been the site of many different environmental disasters over generations. And so a Green New Deal, climate resiliency, and fighting to make sure that those neighbors can stay in their homes safely in a clean environment.
A lot of candidates have talked about Trump-proofing New York or pushing back against policies of the administration that they don't like. Where would you fall in that spectrum?
We have to push back against the Trump administration. This race really is, it's not about, this is a deep blue seat. Fighting the campaign in this seat is going to be about what the direction of the Democratic Party looks like. If we're going to be defending a status quo, or if we're going to be taking on fascism and billionaire power and corporate power. And the Trump administration is a clear and obvious threat to New York City and New York State and the entire country. And we have to push back against him. In the state legislature, we've been fighting for things like New York for All, to protect our immigrant neighbors, to tax the wealthiest among us so that we can actually build up public programs and social safety net. And those are all part of Trump-proofing New York State, but we have to continue that fight at the federal level too.
Okay, before I let you go, this is sort of like almost like a lightning round question. You've worked at Taco Bell, you've worked at Trader Joe's, you've worked at Pizza Hut. Which was your favorite place to work at?
Oh man. So probably Taco Bell, because you really get to see how the sausage is made, and it's fascinating.
You get a meal out of it too. Okay, best of luck. We'll see you out on the campaign trail.
Thank you so much.